bit shocked. I have not swatched the KVD Metal Matte palette. If you want to see these swatches, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène, and yes, I don't know what my problem is. I have not swatched this palette. I've had this palette in my collection for a long time, although I have just started using it, and I have not swatched these colors. I'm really surprised. I usually swatch a palette before I start using it, and I've done 2 looks with it so far. And so what I'm thinking of is swatching all of the mattes and then all of the shimmers. And I'm really curious to know what you think of this particular color, because that is the whole reason that I got the palette in the first place, was one shadow that was just no longer available from KVD Vegan Beauty. So anyway, let's do the mattes first, as I said, and then we'll get into the nice shimmery colors that we all love to gawk at. So I'll do bone, feather, and suede first. Feather looks like a nice canary yellow. So here are the 3 that I'm swatching right now. And I will double swatch everything. So here we go. We have bone, feather, and what's the third one? Suede. That's pretty close to my skin color. And I have used this palette a few times already, but like I said, I just didn't swatch it for some reason. Okay, so let's go back in. I have a little bit of feather in suede here, so just making sure that I'm not mixing colors. And so here we go. Second go at those 3 mattes. I have a dry patch on my wrist, so that's not the eyeshadow, it's just the dry patch on my wrist. If the texture of bone is looking funny. Okay, and that was bone, feather, and suede. And the fingers. So let's go in for the last 2 mattes. Did you see the fingers? Doesn't look good on my viewfinder. Okay, there we go. So there's the colors that I just finished swatching on my very dry fingers. And we're going to go for the last 2, which are oak and velvet. And I do like the names of those 2. Very nice. So oak and velvet. And I have gone into those 2 for sure already. That is a definite nice matte brown, and velvet is also quite pretty. Kind of an eggplant color. Okay, and we'll do a second swatch of those 2 and fingers. Here we go. Oak and velvet. Okay, so here's the up close for all 5 mattes. And the mattes, KVD Vegan Beauty, the mattes are never a disappointment, at least in my experience for what I've purchased from the brand. And I have a number of palettes. I've got 3 of the quads, I've got that middle matte, pastel goth, and the 10-year anniversary palette as well. The mattes are good in all of those. Okay, we are going to go into this top row now, and so we'll do again 3 and 2. So let's go in with Thunderstruck. Like I said, a big reason I got the palette in the first place. It's kind of a white to gold shift. It's really neat. Flash, which is a gold. And Dolce, which is kind of a rusty peach. So here we go. We've got Thunderstruck, peachy white gold, and then we have Flash, And finally, it says, oh, I thought it was Dolce, but no, it's Dose. Or Doce, I'm not sure. D-O-C-E. So it is not Dolce, it's D-O-C-E. Okay, and the fingers, yeah, those are definitely metallics, aren't they? Holy cow. All right. That gold would look good with this look today. If you're curious about this look, I will put it right there. It is the second look with the Blockbuster Holiday Palette from Lancôme for 2020. And I decided to go with a gold and brown look today. So here is Thunderstruck. And again, Flash, I think it's called, yeah. And I'm going to say Dose because I'm not sure how I'm supposed to say that name. And there we go. And I'm hoping that the Thunderstruck shift is showing on camera, but it might not. Again, from a white, icy white to a peach is what it looks like. And again, the fingers, you may be able to see it more on the finger. Okay. We only have two left, and it's the brown and the purple that goes with the mattes, the corresponding mattes. And having a metallic and a matte corresponding to each other in a palette, I think it's very smart, especially for a neutral palette. So we're going for these last two to go with those two mattes. And we have Synergy, which I didn't think was all that deep when I tried it on the outer lid. And so I would say that maybe a deepening matte would have been nice for this palette. And the brown may not be enough. Okay, so Synergy. And finally, what's it called again? How could I forget this? Raw Power. Raw Power is the last one. Okay, and let's do one more swatch. Here we go. And so we have again Synergy and Raw Power. And there is benefit to doing swatches. Always, I'm telling you, always. So here I'm thinking, and this has an interesting shift to it. Here I am thinking, oh, I know what these colors look like. I don't need to do swatches. You don't want to see swatches. This is an old palette, but you know, swatches do something. So when I'm looking at it now, there are a number of things that I find interesting. I kind of want to try Feather with Raw Power. I'm not quite sure why, but I'm really drawn to it. I also want to do a look with Oak, Velvet, and Thunderstruck. For some reason, they are calling to me. And then you've got the usual suspects, of course, Synergy with Oak. That's kind of a no-brainer, but somehow this combo is interesting to me. This combo is interesting to me in a way that I don't think I would have noticed before. So anyway, that is it for the 10 swatches for the Metal Matte, or Matte Metal, whichever way you want to say it, palette from KVD Vegan Beauty. And I've done a couple of looks, as I said, and I will definitely do some more looks with this palette on this channel. I consider it very, very neutral for my tastes, but I do think that there's quite a bit that can be done with this palette, and that I can play with it and hopefully produce something of interest to you. So if you have requests, please let me know. And with that, I will say thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it every single time, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. But for now, take care.